Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobai, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. Apollo. Apollo. A convincing argument, to be sure. Haha, take that, smug prosecution. Dear Apollo, I would like you to pause and rethink of what you just said. Apollo? Huh? What? That bit about Machi being tiny, and the gun throwing off his aim? Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it? Oh. Does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Oh, Apollo. Apollo, sweet Apollo. Cripes, I really put my foot in it this time. Okay, we're bringing Lamoire to the witness stand, finally. We have grasped the siren. Welcome back, everyone. It's Light here. And last time we started the trial for Machi, and basically all we did was cross-examine Emma, I believe, right? And Apollo told them all about what he heard Mr. Latouche say. Because right now, everybody thinks it was Machi because they think he's the only one that could have went through the vents. Because that could have, other than the door, there's no other way to get out except for the vents. So, yeah. And we're trying to prove that it wasn't Machi and that there was another witness because Clavier was saying there's no other evidence or witnesses. So, we're about to prove him wrong. Let's do it. Alright, please show Lamoire to the witness stand. Lamoire would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. Oh yeah, that's right. We asked her about it and she clammed up. She said, basically, we have no part in this. It is my distinct honor to welcome De Simon of the Ballade to our courtroom. You are too kind. Ah, you can speak English? Yes, I can. Though I am not very good, there is much I do not know. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it. Oh? Huh. What does she mean? She doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't know. What do you mean? I mean, did she stutter? I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? Lamoire suffers from amnesia. Amnesia? Lamoire is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on the stage. Oh, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lauded singer Lamoire, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lamoire. Aww. Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness. What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened. Lamoire, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Oh my. Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy. What a casual way to be like, congrats. Everyone hates you now. Ugh. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. Alright, Lamoire, what did you see? As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened. but I wasn't told the details. I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying. I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying. There you have it, she saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray that the defense has the sense to admit defeat, and refrain from detaining her here longer than need be. Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go! Grrr. Very well, Mr. Justice, keep it short and sweet. Lamar wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what. Did she witness? Is she protecting Machi? Did she see Machi doing something? Obviously not murder, but I think she saw Machi doing something, and that's what she won't testify about. But you must have seen something. Mr. Lettuce named you. Mr. Lettuce. How can I tell you what I don't know? Lamar, he said you were a witness with his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night... I was going to on stage in this... Okay. It was a great concert. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course. Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One on my gavel would be nice. Herr Judge. Oh, what's this? It's my autograph. Now keep this trial moving. Hey, sure, we'll take it. What? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy. Apparently his grandson is a big fan. Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lamar. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance. Oh man. You did not return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? Oh yeah, we didn't see her, right? I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And was Machi with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Machi. Okay, interesting. With Machi, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does, though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Lettuce's death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion. Yes, he's giving the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence. And those glinting frames speak nothing. Questioning hasn't gotten very far. But doesn't he not know English? Or I'm guessing they have an interpreter with the police. We sat there waiting. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Lettuce died. Of course, investigations require some security. That Mr. Lettuce was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern. Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for Keeping you in the dark was as painful for oh my gosh. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for my goodness. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. My goodness, what the heck happened? I shut down. Yes, I understand. Think, what doesn't ring true about her testimony? It's hard to imagine Lamar lying. She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder? She's the culprit. Dun dun dun. It's not nothing. Tried sing on stage. Did not return back to the second set. Let me see. On publicity postcard. Aha. Hold on. Then why was your brooch there, then?
Objection!
I'm sorry, Lamore, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not? Why, that's Lamore's. She was wearing it for her song. Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin? What? This brooch was found after the murder took place, at the very scene of the crime. What? Lamore, how did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And, as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us, you had been wearing it during your performance that night. Oh, that was cool. What is the meaning of this? Lamore, please explain. Lamore? Oh, she says English is quite difficult, but that trick's not going to work here. Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact. What now? In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment. What? Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak. Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that? Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup. Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Lettuce, can you hear me? Cold, so cold. Witness. You're cold, don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help is on the way. Siren? How can a siren... Oh! 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 It was her! Who's there? What's wrong? Emma, did you see anyone just now? Huh? No. Could have sworn I heard a door close. I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you. So this is when your brooch dropped? That explains that. It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. That's ridiculous. You only looked in for an instant, but you dropped your brooch? Hair, forehead. She has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence. So she looked in at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice. Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" No doubt. A horrible voice indeed. Ugh. Stop the abuse. I closed the door immediately. Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony. That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lamore, you did look into the room though, right? Yes. Testify as to what you saw. Very well, though it was only the briefest of glimpses. Here we go. This is where we'll get her. This is it. Just nothing behind the wall. Then I was do we have crime scene map? A wall? Was there a wall there? Whatever that word is what in English? A division, or partition, I believe. It was a large dressing room, divided into two halves, and the murder took place in the inside half. I guess that partition might have hidden the body. Oh. What did you see in that brief glimpse? I had only opened the door slightly when I heard that horrible voice, and shut the door. I have always wondered, her forehead. Does that voice of yours lack a volume knob? It's my cords of steel, man. Just back off. Are we meant to perceive? Let's give it a shot. Here again. Maybe it's somewhere else? Where else is there though? Her eyes maybe? Okay, hold on. Let me hear again. She looks composed. Pass. I think we're meant to perceive something, but... I didn't finish pressing. Does that matter? I saw nothing. This might take me a while because my brain is obviously not seeing something. It's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Pass. Maybe her hand? Can we go down to her hand? Down, 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 down. No, we can't. Dang. Okay. What am I missing? Maybe here? Here again. Oh, hold on. Here again. That's it.
Gotcha!
That's it, got it. That's so cool. The late Mr. Latusse's body, you say? Yes. You know something more about Mr. Latusse's death than you are saying. What? I could see you trying not to remember, but the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latusse have to be shot? One moment, Lamore. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latusse have to be shot? Yes? She was hiding something, I knew it. Lamore, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but... Your words just now contradict your testimony. Eh? How could that be? Take this. Lamore contradicted her own testimony, I have the evidence to prove it. Do I? I have no idea. Why did Mr. Tooth have to be shot? Oh, this one, right? To ensure efficiency, secret fear investigation, the bearer is hereby ordered to speak to no one outside.
Take that!
Tell me, Lamore. How did you know he had been shot? Eh? Well, Immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, No one told me anything about the incident. Ah. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet, you knew that Mr. Latouche had been shot. How could you have known? That's an interesting scream. I really love his perceivability, it's so cool. Lamore! You aren't hiding something from this court, I hope? That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Ah, now I remember. How convenient. Please, allow me to add to my testimony. Of course. All we want to know is the truth. She looks kinda pale, huh? She saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so. I saw bullet holes in the wall and knew Mr. Latouche had been shot. She saw bullet holes in the wall. Could she have seen the bullet holes? I feel like I had to present the diagram. Because the way you enter the crime scene, right, you can't immediately see it. There's like a wall there by the door. Let's give it a shot. Objection! Alright. Oh. Why did it, like, automatically skip? I didn't press anything. Lamore, they call you the siren of the ballad. But lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. Put down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice. Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, Ja. Dang! They all just hyped up on him, that's so funny. Oh, they all just went at him, it's like, dang. Observe the diagram. Lamar, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct? Yes, that is so. There were bullet holes in the room, yes. But they were in the wall, the door is on. Eh? You see? Assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. You couldn't have seen those bullet holes. Lamar. Yes? I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you what it is that I saw. Yes. The happenings in this trial are being recorded, and I'm certain it will be on the news in Virginia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing. Well, you just watch and see. We'll show you what it'll yield. But she knew how Mr. Latouche died, and he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamar. Very well. Lamar, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. I still stand by my prediction. Partly prediction, partly memory, I guess. That it was Mr. Shark Guy. Darian. So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say? Heck, this is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Her Forehead. Yay! Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination. That's funny. Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lamar. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. Okay. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes? Need not worry, Lamore. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail. That little window on the wall. I saw the crime from there. You are certain you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This is when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer. And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradictions so far. It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. Interesting. It wasn't Machi who shot? Are you sure? Yes, quite certain. It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Apollo, what were you thinking? Trucy, let's just listen to what Lamore has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure? Why is everyone so shocked when we try to get the truth? Clavier has been saying this whole time, oh, I just want the truth. Is it wrong for us to just want the truth? Yes, of course, you see. I mean, this is at a time where, still a thing, that defense attorneys have a bad rep for just wanting to save their own skin. And not actually care. But we know that Phoenix and his students are different, you know? Phoenix and Apollo. A grown person. That's a little vague. I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man. A young man. And you're sure of that? Yes, his voice was quite clear. Voice? Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Lettuce? Absolutely not. Did I just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Lettuce who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. I mean, that's not absolutely crazy. I know that musicians have good ears. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man. Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi. Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony? I don't know. I do not forget a voice. Voice is the voice of the man. He heard a voice, but wait, couldn't have been the victim, Mr. Lettuce. Do I say it's pretty good or it's contradictory? I didn't think. What is the defense's opinion? We can't see the window in here though. Wait, did she say... Wait! She couldn't have seen them, right? I don't know. I think it's contradictory. Though it pains me to say this. There's something about Lamoire's testimony that rings false. Bravo, Hair Forehead. You're colder than I thought. I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As has been established, no grown man could pass through that air vent. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But that means Lamoire has to be lying. I know, and I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting. It is as Her Forehead says. Yet, this is not the only contradiction within her testimony. What next? What's he talking about? Lamoire. I understand why you would want to protect Machi, yet remember you are the siren of the ballad. And lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean? Apollo, what's he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. The state of the room? It's because no one bats an eye, Apollo, because he's cool. He's too cool for school. Yes, and when the murder took place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure... Lamoire, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser. But she's the only eyewitness we have. So you say. And the victim named her, the siren, as the witness? That's right. That's what Mr. Latouche... We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility. And it brought us to this. Herr Judge. Yes? Prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Lamoire can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence. This cross-examination is over, Prosecutor Gavin. You may continue making your case. Donk. Now, where were we? Yes, I would like to hear from Fraulein Detective again. Objection! Wait! Let me hear Lamoire's testimony one last time. The cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises, this witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I cannot be of more assistance. At last, back to the real trial. What do you mean, real trial? Ready, Hair Forehead? Grr, I hope I didn't just miss my only chance. Fraulein Detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted? Don't ask me. I just like saying the same thing twice, and I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Sky. I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latouche's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling. Yes, there was only one door in the room, and the witness, you, was standing in front of it. That air vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through. I certainly would have a difficult time. You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant. A virtuoso performance. I couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case, though reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. The circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Latouche's body disappear from the room? And end up on top of that stage tower, holding a guitar, no less. Maybe the killer was trying to, manipulate evidence, sure, but, Did they want to make sure that Machi gets arrested? A perceptive observation here, Judge. Oh, thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. No, Judge. But you work in this job long enough. You get a nose for things. The judge sure seems pleased with himself. Very good, Fraulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? Alright. I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lamore's song. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim, and Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lamore's song? Yes, the guitar serenade. You noticed its code too, did you not? Its code. All the events that day followed the lyrics to our song. First, the keys my heart held onto so tightly were stolen. Then, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Lutus's life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. That's mad! It's like a story out of some fairy tale. I admit I'd forgotten about the song, but there it is now, waiting for me. Grand finale, as it were. I don't remember why the lyrics were followed. I'm thinking about it. I can't remember. Hey, you know, I was the one who first noticed that. Yes, Trucy, we know, don't worry. I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs, but killing? It's a wild world out there, Herr Judge. Very well. We've heard one song and danced. Let's get on to the next, to cross-examination. I'm not so sure I'm going to be doing much singing. I mean, you pretty much sing every time you object. It's fine. I wanna know about... Here. This was interesting to me. What do you mean by his signature? Bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off at the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious. Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed? It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. Poorly. That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring at the time, Ja. Are they ideal conditions for tracking by sound? Blind shooter. No wonder he missed. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what do I do now? Obviously, we're gonna raise an objection. Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh, how so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate their shoulder. Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobai, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. Apollo. Apollo. A convincing argument, to be sure. Haha, take that, smug prosecution. Dear Apollo, I would like you to pause and rethink of what you just said. Apollo? Huh? What? That bit about Machi being tiny, and the gun throwing off his aim? Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it? Oh. Does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Oh, Apollo, sweet Apollo. Cripes, I really put my foot in it this time. Well, let's get the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. Alright. From the state of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind. You can't say he was blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that. I wouldn't call it proof, per se. Huh? You've merely raised a possibility. Fraulein Detective has made a most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent. Objection! But wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place? Ah, a very good point. Well, Fraulein Detective, if you would care to explain. He certainly seems sure of himself. Recall the crime scene if you would. There is a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobai. You would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that stepladder. But that's... Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have figured it out for yourself. You only needed to consider what that stepladder was doing there. We did examine it, but I guess we didn't put two and two together. Looks like the defense's objection has been squished by a stepladder. Well, Herr Forehead? Out of ammunition, perhaps? I've never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood. Paula, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need? We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place. Proving the shooter was sighted would do it. That would take down one of their central points. Oh, does Clavier have a feeling of who the real person is? And he's pushing us to prove it? Do you have any evidence that could prove that, though? Thinking. Do I have evidence that can prove that, though? Proving that they were sighted, huh? No need? Why does it say no need? Hold on, let me save. I guess we should present evidence? Fine, I accept the prosecution's challenge. As I knew you would, Herr Forehead. What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see. Therefore, Machi, who's blind, did it. The defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see. I wish I knew. Like, legitimately, I wish I knew. I can't remember. Well, not remember, I can't think. Well, both. I can't think of anything and I can't remember. Is there something we haven't completely looked at? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything on the brooch. Yeah, no, it's just standard. Anything on the gun? No, the weapon is a revolving chamber. That's where you load the bullets. A revolver, see? The Revolver, revolver, that sounds a bit like Wonderbar. Especially if you say it really fast. I guess. You know what I always used to think? I used to think the closest sound to Wonderbar was one liver. There's just so many words in the world, Apollo. Isn't it amazing? So many different words, so many different people. Well, like, truly. Hey, that was mean. Yikes, don't point that thing at me. Don't worry, I'm an old hand with firearms. I have one that shoots bullets. I don't want shooting any bullets, thank you. Not those bullets, silly. My gun shoots, bullets, the magic cat. A cat. Comes out of a gun? I can tell by your expression you've never heard of that trick. It's a great one. Honestly, that one sounds halfway interesting. I don't think we're gonna get anything from the gun, but it's funny looking at it anyway. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's shoot it. We need to prove that they can see. What proves they could see? Why am I blanking so hard at this? Oh my gosh. I could just present anything, couldn't I? And then just reload if I get it wrong. I mean, there's no harm in that. So we'll start with this. I'm not sure that overturns anything, Mr. Justice. Wrong evidence, I'm guessing. Apparently both love and justice are blind. I have to think. There must be something. Anything. This doesn't look so good, does it, Apollo? No, it doesn't. What do we do? Don't panic. Even though Machi's case is leaking water by the gallon. Gavin's on a roll and it's up to me to stop him. Well, there could be the fact that... Alright, hold on. Let me reload. I was saying there could be the fact that we need to press and we're supposed to be getting something from the testimony before this. Because I did skip right to this. Is it the song lyrics? No, can't be. Oh, I am so lost. Okay. Okay. What if I say no need? Can't think of anything that proves the shooter could see. Your face does not exactly project confidence. Maybe you should just accept it and move on. Apollo, grow a backbone! Very well, the witness may continue her testimony. I couldn't even get a word in edgewise. This doesn't look so good, does it, Apollo? No, it doesn't. What do we do? Oh, okay, we read this already. Am I up to me to stop him? Okay. Why don't we finish pressing, and then maybe we can figure it out. Who would steal a body just to match some lyrics? I didn't believe it myself, but it can't just be a coincidence. It is as Fraulein Detective says. Let us begin with the first verse, if you would, Fraulein Detective. What? You want me to sing it? You are the witness, Ja. Or did you want me to sing? I warn you, my fee as vocalist is not trivial. Fine, fine. Ahem. Let's look at the first part of the lyric, shall we? When you stole away the keys my heart held on to so tight. Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped keyring was stolen that morning. Next, we go to the right page of the lyric sheet, where we find, burning on in my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away. As we know, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away. Mr. Latus's life was taken by a bullet. Bravo, Fraulein Detective. You're singing. It's not bad. I wasn't actually singing. Let's pretend she's singing, because, you know, I'm not really a singer. Now, for the finale. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. As it says in the lyrics, Mr. Latus was found with a guitar high in the sky over the stage. No series of coincidences could be so well conceived. He's right, scientifically speaking. What would Waki have said? That concert was whack. Oh, Waki. It's hard to argue when she pours her heart into it like that. Anyway, the shooter moved the body to match Lammoir's song. Does the prosecution have any idea why he'd do all this? You want my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason. A deep reason? Not only did he steal my keys, he torched my guitar. Unforgivable acts even if he had a reason. And worse if he had none. The Diva's complaints aside, I can't imagine someone doing this on just a whim. Fraulein Detective, I take offense to that description. Oh man. Indeed, it does seem too well rehearsed, shall we say. Yes, this crime was planned for sure. Oh, I'm just going to kill the... But Mr. Latus spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. Right. You see? No one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in such an elaborate fashion. It does seem difficult to imagine. Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What did you say? Prosecutor Gavin, you did this to promote your song? Of course not, and I am quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music. They're even in my textbook at school. And I never heard of them. What does that say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. Oh wait, we pressed this already, didn't we? Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, this is gonna bring up the same thing. Alright, hold on. Okay, and we're back here. Wait, I never presented the lyrics, right? I presented everything except like the most obvious choice. Let's try the lyrics. Dang. Oh my gosh, okay, what else is left? My goodness. It's not this, it's not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Not this. What is it, this? You. You've gotta be kidding me! This is that evidence! Photograph of the crime scene? I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face, but this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. And perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, Ja. You're one to talk. Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is... This, it was wiped, huh? The contradiction is right here. The smeared bloodstains. I thought it was just blurry. I thought it was just my blurry vision. But it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head. Much like a gesture I have seen many times in this court. It's almost as if he wrote something. Aha! I get it. At least I think I get it. Get what, Fraulein? When Mr. Latus was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh? Thanks for making my point for me. It's almost like she's the lead of the defense team. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. Chat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that. Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither would I. No one has anything else to say? About what? So the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latrice was writing something in blood once the killer saw what it was. Wait. Got him. Got him! Once he saw what it was. But what did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ah! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? Ah! Ah! May I remind the court that the defendant, Machi Tobai, is blind. He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Got him. Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now, it seems I owe the court an apology. Gavineers are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us. Obviously because of exactly what you just said. I've got an idea. Let's rock. With these documents. But before that, I have a question for the Fraulein detective, if I may. But what? Tell me, why do you think that Machi Tobai is blind? Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He is the blind pianist, right? So he is... Doesn't Lamore lead him around by the hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Machi Tobai. According to this, Machi Tobai can see perfectly well. What? Huh. I don't remember this plot twist. Oh boy. His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well. But you said... What did I say, exactly? Herr Forehead, not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. You sneaky little... The only one who did was the Fraulein detective. But that's... a significant fact, yes. Consider, Machi Tobai sees. And he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this. What about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Herr Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, Herr Forehead. He's a pirate. Arrgh! I knew you didn't have what it took. You jerk! Just what was I in here for? A comic relief? Yeah, apologize! Oh, sorry. That's no way to apologize. He's angered the Trucy now. Look out. If we can please end the bickering, now. Whatever! I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me. But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Don't say that. Ah, aha! Oh, what should we figure out? What? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes? We might be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right. With this. It's called luminoil. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet? Ha! As if I'm going to tell you! The bloodstains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now. Alright. Apollo's gonna go for it next time! Oh boy. Alright. I love Vengeful Emma. Alright. So... that was quite a twist. And we're back where we started, basically, as tends to happen. But, maybe, just maybe, this little luminoil test will help prove the actual culprit's identity, which I still think is Darien. So, we'll have to see next time. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one for some more scientific fun. I love the science. See you later.